Welcome back to the second part of this demonstration on control of tone in loud and soft playing. And I'm going to be speaking today about the pedal because it's really crucial. We can't really talk about any of this stuff without referring to the pedal. So I'm going to spend a few minutes doing that now. I'm going to start off with the beginning of the G minor Chopin Ballade. There are so many different ways of doing this beginning. I wonder how much lesson time over the course of history has been devoted to the first 3 bars that I'm about to play now. Dread to think. A lot of it will be personal opinion on the behalf of the person giving the lesson. So I'm going to just tell you what I see as important. First of all, start with the pedal down. If you're going to use pedal, don't put it down just after you play the note here. If I put it down afterwards, I've missed a moment for that resonance. So I start with the pedal down. Now, the kind of sound I want at the beginning is something that's deep, not a jarring. I don't want anything that's too percussive. I want something that's deep. So what I do is, again, I use actually quite a slow movement to get into the key, but deep. Now, what I'm doing, in the course of those few notes, I've found that I need to adjust my pedal, particularly on this rather large concert Steinway. And as I come up, now my pedal is all the way at the top. So I've gone from dark to light as the music itself does. It's just one chord that's repeated 3 times. Now here, with a tail on the end of it. For those of you that are interested, it's a Neapolitan harmony. And I want a little murkiness at the beginning here. This one to be slightly cloudy, and this one to be clear. So I need the pedal to blend my sounds, but if you ask me what was my pedal doing, I would not be able to write that pedaling down for you. This is the important thing, and that's why it's a bit frustrating in a demonstration like this that I can't say, here's what you do. But roughly, this is what I'm doing on this particular piano. Pedal is fully down. Now, as I play these few notes, I'm starting to tweak my pedal. Now my pedal's almost at the top. Do you hear a little bit of a halo? Now I get my legato here from the finger. I'd probably pedal again there to connect that. Very difficult to write that particular pedaling down. Now, in other textures where we want a little bit of resonance and clarity, say the beginning of the Ravel Sonatina, let me play you that. What will happen here is I'm going to be using micro applications of the right pedal. Let me just do it first. Now, I don't know if you could hear what... Let me just do it without the pedal, so you'll hear the difference. It's a bit spiky, isn't it? It's a little bit too clear. If I do it with full pedals, listen to how this is much too much. I'm awash with sound there. So what I do is I get the legato from my fingers. By the way, for those of you that are struggling with this beginning, here's a good way to practice it. Practice the inner part staccato. At the dynamic level you're going to want. So the pedal would really be, if you imagine you're watering a plant and you've got an atomizer and you just spray a little bit of water on the plant to moisten it. So we're moistening the sound. You hear what I've got there? I've got the clarity and I've got a little bit of a resonance, which is what I want. There are other places where we need to leave the pedal down. I'm so often finding myself in my teaching saying, leave the pedal, leave the pedal. Here's an example from Debussy's Hommage à Rameau, where we have a bass that stays for, how many bars is that? About 4 bars. Now, I don't need to change the pedal at all in those 4 bars. There I change it. And there I'll change it for the next harmony. If I'm on a very resonant piano such as this, and I find that that's getting a little bit much, rather than change the pedal, what I can do is just adjust it. Lift the pedal up a little bit until I find that spot where I'm releasing some of the worst of the resonance. I'm going to be doing a series on the pedal next, so I'll leave some of the subtleties of that for that particular demonstration. But since this is about texture and controlling of sound, I think I really did need to do something on the pedal here too. Now, another piece of Debussy, the L'Île Joyeuse, comes back to that, finding that spot in the pedal. Let me just illustrate this by playing a chord with the pedal full down. And I begin to lift the pedal. So, and about there, do you hear? I've found a place in the pedal that's where I've got some resonance and I've also got some clarity. Now, if I hold the pedal there, again there, I might just want to flutter my pedal a little bit, very delicately, just to clear the sound so that I don't overdo. I'm going to end with the perennial favourite, the Grieg Nocturne, which I think is really, really beautifully written for the piano, and it's a very popular piece. I'm going to start by just playing you a few notes, which I hope you'll object to. If I play the right hand by itself with a full pedal like this, you would say, no, that can't be right. Those are melody notes. You can't pedal them all in one. But as soon as I put that together with the left hand, so again, three-layered structure, just like a lot of what else has come up today. Bass, floating middle harmonies. Now, let me do that same pedaling. See that bass? The presence of that B even forgives this clash here. The presence of a bass note played with some firmness forgives all sorts of things that would otherwise be unacceptable above it. And that's just a fact of piano playing. Let me just give you this, just because I like to play it. The little nightingale part here. Keep the pedal down for the full 3 bars. Don't change pedal at all. Here are the basses. We have to wait to the end for the basses. That's all one harmony, as is this section from the middle section. Now, I teach this piece quite often, and I always find people want to change pedal too often. So here we go. This needs to be one pedal. That's one harmony. Here's the next harmony. So I change there, keep it, change here. Now there, I want a different color. Now, change pedal here. Do you see how the piano's doing half the work for me there? All I have to do is to bathe in this beautiful effect that Grieg gives us. I'm swimming in that harmony. Now, here we can keep the pedal down for a whole 4 bars if we want to. I better just check I'm not going to play a wrong note here. Okay. Now, if I go back to that bass note, do you hear it's still there? I played that silently to show you it's still alive. What I did in the last part of that phrase, I just cleared the pedal a little bit, so I got rid of the worst. Let me do it again, and I'll talk over the top of myself. Now I begin to lift the pedal. Do you hear what's going on there? I begin to lift the pedal, so I've got something of the clarity here that I want, but I retain the bass note. I hope that's given you a few ideas on controlling texture, pedal, loud and soft playing, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.